Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. There we go. We're in. Hello, folks. Welcome to our latest episode of Football is Life. Mike is just buzzing. Wazza and I are buzzing because it's going to be spicy. Everyone's buzzing here. Yes, welcome back. Good to see you, boys. How are we this fine Friday?
Living the dream, baby.
Oh my! Look at it. It's like it's seething out of him, Wazza, isn't it? It's seething. Wazza, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
I'm doing exceptionally well, Ross. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, mate. I feel there's an exciting weekend of sport coming up. There's lots to talk about, which is what I love. So yes, but yeah, we're gonna have to start where we're gonna have to start. So the title race looked like it was taking another dramatic turn, Mike. But the gods or the evil forces, depending on which where you lean. Yes. So, Mike, give us your. I mean, look, there's been a lot made of the late equalizer that West Ham were denied against Arsenal, in what turned out to be a very tense affair. But maybe the one that, again, I said that I felt if they won that game, they won the title. Maybe the one that clinches it for them. What's your take on the whole David Raya? Is it a foul? Isn't it a foul? Like the whole. I mean, there's so many things around it we'll get into, but yeah, give us your take as the most balanced Arsenal fan on the planet that we could find.
Yeah. And I've brought ammunition. I'm happy to share some clips as well.
Is it a machine gun or is it like?
No. It was a foul. There were two of them, in fact. One grabbing his shirt, the other grabbing his arm. He was not able to. Don't.
He's not doing it. He's doing it.
All right. We're just gonna go right to it. One second.
Listen, Mike's got all the power now. What's he doing here?
I love that it's on a podcast, which everyone can absolutely see exactly what he's doing as well. This is great.
Do you know what I feel like he's doing here?
Oh, he's gone into a Mark Goldbridge hole. Oh, no.
Did Arsenal rob West Ham United with that last-minute equaliser being disallowed for something that Arsenal themselves get away with all of the time? Or are people being a little
You might as well say Truth Social in the background as well. Like, this is the level of rabbit hole going on.
Grabbing of the arm, the pulling of the shirt collar, that is always going to be given us a foul. It's so it prevents Raya from claiming the ball. We don't need to talk about that any further. Then it comes to, do Arsenal get away with this themselves all the time, which is what people are claiming. And when you ask for examples or when they show examples, none of them are the same as this incident. None of them are pulling on the arm of a goalkeeper, pulling on the shirt of a goalkeeper. Most of them are Arsenal players bumping into a goalkeeper. Now, you can argue that they should be given as fouls, but the specific pulling of the arm, pulling of the shirt is what this has been given for. And the only example that you can find of an Arsenal player pulling on the arm of a goalkeeper, scoring a goal, is Ben White against Leicester City in the 22-23 season. And what happened? VAR intervened, the goal was ruled out, the free kick was awarded to Leicester City. That is the only genuinely similar example that people can find. Using Bayindir at the start of the season, if you show the clip rather than a still image, there's one moment where Saliba is pushing on the arm of Bayindir before the ball's even come in. It is not the same as actively pulling someone's arm down as they are attempting to catch the ball. And so people are being disingenuous. Why? I honestly don't know. Is it because they just hate Arsenal? Maybe it is. Because if you look at Bernardo Silva on roll against Everton in the week, right, rugby tackling him during the corner, and most people agree that should be a penalty. But they might tweet about it once. They might be a comment about it. It's dead the next day. That.
Oh, Mike, why have you done that? Mike, why have you given us more ammunition?
Anywhere near what we're seeing this evening. And ultimately, what people are actually complaining about this evening is a correct decision being awarded. Now, is it fair?
No, they're not.
They've had a...
You need to turn him off, Mike. You need to turn it off.
Oh, Mike, why have you done that to somebody?
You know what I love what Mike's done? Mike has basically gone and said, right, let me go and find the biggest melt I can find out there. I'm surprised that like Patrick Malarkey, the mask doesn't come off and it's actually Patrick Malarkey. But let's listen. I'm going to go first, Wazza, and you're going to come in and put that spice and sugar on top. So let's just break all of this bullshit down, right? Okay. So again, I would
like when you do, I would ask that you to land it with facts and examples, please.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. No problem. That's easy. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to, again, I know it's hard for you to be.
Shout out Roy Talks Football, by the way. We should give him credit for that. So
credit for that absolute nonsense, mate. Yeah, that's one of the biggest piles of nonsense I've ever heard in my life. But yes. But no, so we're just gonna break this down and talk about what people are actually angry. So again, this is where people choose a dimension that suits their argument instead of being, do you know what I'd love? I know it's hard. I keep asking for it, Wazza, but just like a bit of humility from Arsenal fans. That's all I want at times, right? So here's the thing. People are not, I don't think anyone in the world can debate. Now look, David Raya completely made the most, he embellished the contact. That's step one, right? So in terms of, he could have just caught the fucking ball, right? But anyway, this is what Arsenal players, Gabriel's done it all season. This is what they do, right? That's fine. Now, do I think that should be a foul if that happens to a goalkeeper? Yeah, I do think it should be a foul. No problem. The challenge is he shows, this is where he goes wrong. You go, if you're going to show Bernardo Silva and complain about that, then it's a penalty at West Ham because Leandro Trossard does exactly the same thing. Doesn't look at the ball and just bear hugs a guy. So this is where Arsenal fans lose it. Here's the problem, right? The problem isn't about the detail of is or isn't a foul on Raya. It's not that, right? The problem is Arsenal have been fouling people in the box all year and benefiting from it. I would love Arsenal fans just to come out and be honest and say, if that's my team, I go, do you know what, guys? 100%. That should, it should be a foul, we agree. But do you know what? We have got away with so much shit this year that I understand why people are mad, because we have done things that are equally as bad, maybe not exactly factually the same things, but the amount of blocking, holding, not looking at the ball, interfering with the goalkeeper, right? Again, doesn't matter if, and listen, this whole thing, that guy's getting Pablo is foul before he fouls Raya. Right, he is foul before and then what happens is he's trying to get his balance. He's not actually gripping his arm like this.
Thank you, Ross. I never thought I'd say thank you before in my life.
It's resting. And what does Raya do? He goes, he's got the ball. He can catch it. He can just catch it. He goes, oh, right. So look, the point is, it's just classic Arsenal. This is why nobody likes this. It's not, but there's not an agenda. It's impossible to like a team. It's like Arsenal fans criticizing Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid. You are that fucking team. You bunch of clowns. That's who you become. And this is what you get with that, right? It is what it is. Now, Joe, I'll Wazza, you come in and I'll get to a point of solution focused after this. What I would love to see fucking happening, which would be, I think, equitable and fair and the right decision in these situations. And sigh. I feel great.
Honestly, Ross, I never thought that I would be such a kindred spirit to you in my entire life. Apart from
it's taken how many years? Was it? How many years?
It's taken a while. We've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, and this is the closest
Arsenal
we've ever been.
Unifying the rest of the world in their mutual hate.
Honestly,
Mourinho.
They're not seeing Trossard literally swinging Pablo around and forcing him. He's holding the man into Raya. Jesus. It's agony to watch. How could they not be seeing that? Sure, don't get me wrong. I understand the opinion of the ref that they brought on Match of the Day, saying that the piece that they need to focus on, the most important incident, is the fact that Raya was held down. Okay, but how was he? Was Pablo completely acting on his own volition of going, you know what? I'm just going to bear hug this guy. No, he's been pushed on there by Trossard. How are they not seeing that? They've done it from so many different angles, but they still can't see that absolute basic nonsense. But the thing that I love the most about this, I mean, Mike, you gave us Mr. Tinfoil Hat there, putting all of these reels there and crying about it. I love that bit. That's very nice, a lovely addition. We should do Crazies of the Week on this show. That's one thing that's brilliant. They got the decision wrong as well, to be perfectly honest. Sure, it's a foul, but that's because it's a forced foul. Imagine, for example, Salah running into the box, right? And maybe at the time it was Firmino actively shoving one of the City defenders into him, and then they get a penalty. It's as stupid as that, right? But the thing that I love is the fact that Arsenal now have an absolute bullseye on their back, because this is out of all the calls that I've seen in a number of seasons past, this is the most contentious call that I've seen, because it's a title and relegation deciding call, right? Let's be perfectly honest about that.
For sure.
And given that Arsenal, let's break down the stats of Arsenal's season so far. They've scored 68 goals, 38 have been through open play, 22 from corners and set set pieces, 4 from penalties, and 4 from own goals. There is no way that Arsenal do not get further scrutiny about every single action that they do in the box after this, given the absolute sheer amount of rightful outcry. Because you have been doing this all season, Arsenal have been wrestling in the box. The dark arts, as every single media outlet says every single week. In no way, can you imagine if that goal tally around the set pieces goes down by even 25%? Arsenal don't win the league. Can you imagine that? And that will happen. That is going to happen. Arsenal are not a creative side. We have discussed that time and time again. After this week, Arsenal have no creativity. Let's be perfectly honest. We'll get to creativity in a moment when we talk about Phil Foden's back heel pass against Crystal Palace. But
I thought he was shite last week.
We've lost him again, Mike.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is terrible news for Arsenal. I'm going to go get a package. You guys unpack this.
Yeah, no, I want to ask Mike to come in because I think, do you not understand? Can you not see that perspective?
Absolutely. So here's the thing. I am not contesting that Arsenal has blocked and gotten in the way of and interfered within the bounds of the law of the game now. What I expect will happen is rules will change that will prevent this from happening. 2 years ago, when something like this would have happened, everyone would have said the keeper needs to be tougher. And it's just like you said about this. Raya could have caught the ball. He couldn't have caught the ball. He was being pulled down by 2 people.
Watch it back, mate. Watch it back.
I have. I've watched it a number of times. I'm not saying that we have not. There is a difference between running in front of someone or blocking someone and holding them. There is a fucking difference.
I know. Okay, but Trossard's holding a guy with 2 arms. The guy who's trying to get the ball, and he can't get the ball, so he's trying to fight for his life and grab whatever he can to get away from. So this is the point. The first foul, if you're gonna give the foul, look, I understand. See the one that people talk about, like Havertz at the near post, and I can't remember who it was, and Declan Rice and Mavropanos.
Yeah.
The reason that's not, in my opinion, is not applicable is
it's not as material to where the ball is.
Exactly. So where does the ball go? So I'd understand it. You see, for example, if I was complaining about a random, like Mavropanos being held by Rice, I'd be like, it's a moot point. It doesn't matter. Yeah. The point is it a foul on Raya? Nobody's debating that it's a foul on Raya, right? The problem is the foul before it causes the foul on Raya. It's like the player is fouled, right? Pablo is the fouled player, and there's another guy beside him in that melee being held with 2 arms like this. And then we're complaining about a guy's hand resting in his arm when he's actually got the ball.
It wasn't resting, Ross.
Like, I promise you that the pool's a pool.
It wasn't resting.
It's resting. Look at back. I promise you can see it's not grip round. If it's grip round, he's pulling it down.
It absolutely was gripped.
It's not. It's like this. I'm telling you, you can see it. But anyway,
and even if that were the case, the fact that you've got someone else from the other side pulling on his jersey, so it wasn't 1 foul, it was 2.
Yeah, but the point is, Mike, look, you're talking about Arsenal. What I would say, have Arsenal been smart about how they've done the corners? Yes, but they're well beyond the laws. They are fouling people every week in corners, every week, and it's been happening all season. And it's blatant. It is blatant fouls if you look at them. I mean, not looking at the ball and holding somebody is a blatant. To me, it's just a stonewall penalty. You've no intent to play the ball, and you're stuck. And it's different if I'm just standing around. But if I grab you, it's just blow the whistle. It's a penalty kick. The referees cocked it up. If you're going to, so my point is this: you either say, and you know what they do in the NFL, and I will go to the NFL a lot, right? I would have loved my call in that situation, knowing what had gone on the whole season, looking at that melee, guys. This is offsetting fouls, guys. You're all fucking at it, right? It's a goal. Get on with it. That's how you stop it. You go, do you know what? If you want to go at this, that would have been a better decision to make and say there's offsetting fouls. You fouled that player. He's fouled your goalie. Do you know what? Fair fucks to you all. It's a goal. Get on with it, right? Because the problem is what they do now is this is the problem. It's selective. Okay, yes, the ball's there, but let's look at what happened just before that, right? And why is Mavropanos' arm like what? Because you're trying to get away. I've been in that situation, and you're doing everything you can and grabbing onto what you can to get away from the guy that's fucking holding you, right? So at the end of the day, I just wish Arsenal fans would come on and say, do you know what, guys? I understand that made people sick because we have been the worst at this all season. We have been absolutely taking the piss right? And you have been. And just look, nobody will remember that. Like, you win the league, and it's fine, and you'll deserve to win the league, and it is what it is. But it's like me trying to convince you guys that we play great football this year. We've been shite, and I've told you we're boring, we're shit. It is what it is, right? You guys are a horrible bunch of players with horrendous tactics in terms of, like, Mike, come on, you can't deny that, and then to cry and complain when something like that and go, oh, this is so. Guys, come on, that is just not on. Like, and this whole, I'll point to a decision that was this. It's not about the fact that no instance exactly the same, right? No instance the same. But the point is, you are fouling at least probably more than they are fouling in that box, right? So on the balance of things, it should be a penalty versus a foul on your goalkeeper, right? It just should be at the end of the day for me, or offset it and say, guys, do you know what? You fuckers have been at it all season. You're all doing it. You're fouling their player. They're fouling your player. It's a goal, right? Tough. And do you know what? That is a bit of karma to go, okay, teams have wised up to it now, and they'll just do what you do to them, right? Now, you argue they're a bit cleverer. You see it, mate. They fouled the goalkeeper. They fouled it. It was Man United first. It's a foul on the goalkeeper. I said at the time, it's a foul. It's blatant. I can see it. Deliberately contacted him so he can't get the ball, but it doesn't get given. So I'm sorry. This whole, like, the violins out for Ryan, all this stuff. He could have caught the ball. He's an he threw him. Look at the way he throws himself to the floor. It's pathetic. Gabriel does it all the time. Just look, when Luis Suarez played for Liverpool, he's an absolute shithousery off the charts. I didn't pretend that he wasn't. I was like, he's a phenomenal player. David Raya's save, by the way, what a fucking save, right? We should be talking about that, but instead we're talking about shithousery because these guys have just got this awful fucking attitude. And I just see if you could just own it and be like, see Wimbledon back in the day with Vinnie Jones. Their fans loved it. We're just a fucking nasty team that will bite and claw our way to wins. Just accept who you are, guys. Like, just own it. That's all we ask for.
No, I don't think I've ever said that. I've said on regular occasion, I've said that we've done what we need to do to win.
Yeah, and it's horrible. Like, some of this stuff, you have to admit, if this is Man United or Liverpool, you would be saying the same thing as we're saying. It's not about that it's not a foul, right? Nobody in the world, I don't think, thinks that shouldn't be given as a foul. But what I like about NFL is that they have rules at the start of the season and they're consistent. They don't change and go, oh, we're gonna, like, to me, this season. Look at the Everton game that was Everton Arsenal. It was like there was guys wrestling each other, right? And no penalties. So you can't give that penalty. I'm sorry, you cannot give that in context. It's got to be fair the whole season. If you're going to let shit like that go, we've got 2 games to go, guys. Just let it go and say, guys, offsetting. No, you're all at it. We're not having it. We're going to change the rules in the summer, and we'll sort it out then.
You can rest assured that there will be changes to the rules for set pieces in the summer.
Yeah, but don't change it in mid-season. Don't change it mid-season. Or if you're going to do it, look at it more forensically. It took 5 minutes. You didn't look at all the holding from the Arsenal players that led to the instant. Guys, come on. That's poor. That's really, really poor. And I feel for West Ham because they deserve something from the game, I thought. And I mean, Arsenal started quite well, but it was I think West Ham did quite well. But it's just a little bit pathetic, and all this, yeah, it's just the way the Arsenal fans deal with it. Listen, that was me. I'd be like, guys, we've got away with one there. We've been doing it all season. We've absolutely got away with one. I'll just fucking admit it.
I remember the absolute epitome example of that when we were trying to win the season. I think it was in 2017, 2018, when Vincent Kompany tackled Jamie Vardy when we were like... when we were trying to go for the title in some of the final few games. It's when he did that wonder goal as well, like where he just banged it in from outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
I even said in that game, he should have been sent off. That was a clear red card. And I said that we got away with murder in that game. Like,
you get breaks.
I put my hand up.
You need breaks to win a title. You do need breaks. You do need luck to win a title. I think I say that again.
100%.
Like, we scored last-minute goals against Aston Villa the year we won it. Like, you need to get those breaks and those things that fall your way. Let's just admit that's what it is. It's not a... Again, you're right, Mike. See in context of like start of the season, I go, but to me that should be a foul, 100%. What happened to David Raya should be a foul, but what happened to the players immediately before that should also be a foul. And so if you're going to be, you've got to be consistent. That's my only problem with it. See if the only foul was a foul on Raya, I go, guys, that's too egregious. Yeah, but again, I'll point to the Everton game where people were doing way worse things than that and no penalty. And I'm like, you just can't pick and choose how you apply the rules. If you're letting this stuff go all season, Arsenal, you've set the tone for this. You're the club that set the tone. This is what you get, right? And if it doesn't bounce your way this time, tough titties. And you know what I hate about this is what I mean, Arteta, and not just football managers in general and players, right? They all know the ins and outs. They need to come out and be like, look, just be honest about it and go. If Arteta said, look, guys, I understand why that sting. We have benefited from a lot of things. Like, just be honest.
To be fair, that's the one thing that I say. One thing that is something that I do respect about Slot. Like in a lot of press match interviews afterwards, like when he knows that his side has gotten lucky, he has openly said,
Just says it.
"We got lucky." Similarly with like what Klopp would do. Similarly with Pep, they would each say like we were not the better team when they won a game.
Klopp and Pep are a little bit. I don't know.
No, Pep has done this a fair bit, and Klopp occasionally did go like, "We were not the better team here. We shouldn't have like."
I know, but wait a minute, Pep's been fucking bananas.
Pep has done that quite a lot. I've watched enough City games, and he's been around long enough.
Come on, Mike. He's forgetting all this, like Anfield, like that. They're like twice.
Oh, what? Yeah, but that's because Anfield and Pep and Anfield. The Liverpool thing that one's different, but largely, like for example, I think it was earlier on in the season when we played Villa and we did lose. Like he was very open. He was like, "We were shite." Or like when we got through with the skin of our teeth earlier in the season against Everton, he was like, "Fuck, we shouldn't have won that." Like he said, Everton were a better side. This stuff happens, but the thing that pisses me off really is that whole concept of it's fine for us to do. Like it's consistency. It's consistency, and that's what everyone apart from Arsenal fans is complaining about. It's about consistency.
Everyone wants to see it given as like things like that, but they want to see the whole before giving. Like if you're going to do that, you got to give everything. Like, that's just.
I think though at this point, and I don't know, Mike, tell me. This is what I'm curious to hear from you. I don't know. I feel as a fan from this season, I just want it to end because I feel like this has gone real.
Why? It's great. You've got listen. Look, I mean, look. At the end of the day, look. Again, I think it's the reason I wouldn't mind admitting it. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I benefited from a decision. Can't be changed now. I'm top of the league. I'm going to win the league. I don't care. Like that's. You guys are sitting in the Champions League final. You've got like two, maybe not pretty good. I mean, almost as easy as it gets.
Easy. Those games are guineas. They're winning them.
Well, I think because the Palace play the final before they play Arsenal.
Palace. Palace is the final game away before.
And they not play the final midweek next week.
Yes, it is a midweek game.
And is it not next
Champions League final?
No.
Champions League is weekend, but Palace's European final is midweek
before they play Arsenal.
Yes.
So they'll all be still hammered.
Oh my god!
Same with Villa and City. Yes.
When's
that is terrible. That is terrible for both teams.
You sure? I don't see Palace's. When's Palace's game?
Oh my god, that is terrible. That is awful scheduling.
Yeah, it's bad news for you. Is that definitely true? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking. So Villa's game is before the final.
No, Villa's game is. I know that. Forget Villa.
Arsenal's is before the final.
So Palace.
So they were rotating. That's right. No, you're right. That's right. It's after that. Yeah, which is.
Yes. It's 3 days after, so that's even better. That's not better.
So that's good.
So then they're likely to not play a full strength squad for sure. They have to. I mean, for sure they have to prioritize that European trophy.
Yeah. So Arsenal are going to get a freebie on that final day of the season. That's it, really.
Well, the only thing is though is that it's at Palace. That's the only thing though. City at home to Villa. Villa will. They're done. They play us tonight, and they play their game midweek, and then they play. I mean,
yeah.
I don't.
And assuming that they win, they're going to be hungover as shit, and they're going to be.
It also won't matter because they're in Europe, they're in Champions League, so nothing really matters anymore.
Yeah,
so
I think, but it's both games theoretically should be pretty inconsequential from a Premier League standpoint because of the European fixtures around them. 100%.
And also, I'd probably say that I mean, yes, it is Palace at home, but so far they've played 19 games, they've won 4 of them, they've drawn 10, and they've lost 5.
To be honest, I've got a plan though. The only way this title race takes another turn, there's only one way.
If City draw to, as in like the way
as in City, it becomes like goes to the last day, and that's if you just got to parachute Tony Pulis into Burnley and go, Tony, we need you. We need a miracle, Tony. We need some real. Get him and Mourinho in there together and just get right. We need a real masterclass and Simeone. Get 3 of them and say masterminds and go right.
What do you mean? Just get Arteta to coach Burnley
and let's get real nasty and just But no, I think everyone knows that the title is and I think Bournemouth have things to play for, and I just think City got a cup final.
Yeah, Bournemouth has a lot to play for. It's European place for them. It's from a who's got what left to play for standpoint. It absolutely favors Arsenal. Absolutely.
Oh, dude, but Bournemouth away for City after the cup final the weekend as well. Like, I know, look, to be fair, by the way, fair play to Pep. I know fantasy people, I completely fucked up and forgot to change my captain and had Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
It turned out not to be as damaging as if Haaland had started both games.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
Pep, to be fair to him, I do think it was smart because I do think
that was the match to rotate. 100%. 100%. You're gonna it's clear he wants to win the FA Cup so that they double for sure, and rest those folks so that they can play 90 for the next 3. 100%.
Yeah, well, good. There we go. But look, that's the only thing. You got to get Pulis in there, get all the shithouse managers in there. That's the only way. But no, look, at the end of the day, Mike, that's it. Hopefully you're not too rattled from us ranting at you, but I hope you can understand our frustration.
I've been used to it for 37 game weeks. It's all good.
Okay, good. But yeah, City did their job midweek.
Yes, as we all expected. As we all expected. I mean, that was not, I think for the first 20 minutes they looked all right, and then after that it was just
and then you have the other side of North London, and it looked like, obviously, with the drama at the London Stadium with involving Arsenal and West Ham, it looked like what could have been a crucial point for West Ham. Maybe that game relegated them because everyone expected Spurs to go on and win their game against Leeds, and it looked like they were going to, but they actually, I mean, the goalkeepers at Kaminsky, what a save! That was better than Raya's save. That was like, that might keep them up. By the way, that save in terms of consequence, like, oh my god, like that was a phenomenal, and like Leeds should have won that game in the end. Like 100%. I was like,
Spurs were super wobbly in the last 10-15 minutes.
Like,
they're just like, you expected that one more to go.
And do you know who Spurs play next? They go to Stamford Bridge, baby.
That's right.
And so look, as much as
Chelsea would love to send them down, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of love there.
If Chelsea lose the cup final, which they should, I'm not, no disrespect, but in the way that the form that Man City should win that game, right? Again, it's a one-off game, but in form, let's say that, if they lose it, their whole season could be about, well, at least you can give us this, right? So I expect they're going to be so compelled to be, and that, I think that's I don't know if I see Tottenham coming up. That's a tough one. And then West Ham play Leeds, don't they?
West Ham have got Newcastle
away.
Yeah.
And then is it Leeds?
And then Leeds on the final day.
And Leeds are safe. So
and Spurs are home to Everton.
So I think it comes down. I do think the win. I think if West Ham won, if they find a way to beat Newcastle, again, a Newcastle team that are all over the place.
They're all over the place, yes.
If West Ham find a way to get a win and Chelsea beat Spurs, I think West Ham go above them, and we just have to match the result in the final day. And they're at home against a Leeds side. So I genuinely think the relegation
and couldn't care. Yeah,
it's this weekend. It's this week. It's unbelievable stuff, Jeff. Like, unbelievable stuff. So yeah, look, at least we have that to be interested in. It looks like the race for Europe. Liverpool are trying to make it interesting in Villa. They play tonight. I think the thing is, if City beat Bournemouth, it doesn't matter. So anyway, and if Villa win midweek, it won't matter. It's like so it just feels like it's kind of somewhat.
Things are starting to settle in at the top. Yeah.
Well, it's just a bit boring, mate. And like Man United are on the beach already, and like it's a bit. The rest of the league's a bit wah, wah, wah. It's not great. Although, so we'll see. But look, what a controversial and entertaining week it's been. So yeah, and we got big. Arsenal plays it Saturday or Sunday? They play, Mike. Are they Saturday?
They're
Monday, isn't it?
Monday.
Oh, yes, they're later. That's Monday night.
Football, okay. Yeah.
I think that helps them under the lights. And that'll be expect to put a few goals past Burnley as well.
They have to.
Yeah, just in case.
Yep.
There we go. Well, there we go. That's a talk at the top then. What about have you been watching any of the Scottish League, boys? No?
I know this weekend's a pretty big one for Celtic.
You don't see the handball that wasn't a handball? Did you see that?
I did not.
So the guy, again, it's not one of these decisions. Everyone's going like it's the worst decision they've ever seen. It's not. It shouldn't be a penalty, I don't think. But literally, so 2-2, and Celtic, if that stayed the same, Celtic had to beat Hearts 3-0 or 4-0 tomorrow, which is unlikely. It's at home, but I think Hearts won't get beat by that many goals. And then it's literally the last kick of the game. There's a throw and a cross comes in, and the guy goes up. The Motherwell guy and the Celtic defender got to head it. It's in the Motherwell box, and the Motherwell's arm kind of goes up. The guy goes down like he's been hitting the face. It wasn't. I say it's an elbow. I don't think it was a foul. I think it's one of those. His arm. I think he embellishes it a little bit. But what happens is because of that, his hand kind of comes in like this, and then he heads the ball. Now it looks like there's no the
hand of God, but his hand was attached to his head.
Attached to it. So the fun. This is the funny thing, right? Okay, so a few things about people that don't watch Scottish football. I understand why they haven't this season. You should be. It's the most exciting it's ever been. And by the way, Motherwell are playing the best football. Like I'm trying to think of a Premier League team that play as good football as Motherwell. Their manager, honest, this guy they got him. I don't know where from. Oh my God! Like they should have beaten Celtic. They played them off the park. Like it's unreal. But what happened is they got all these people saying, if the ball hits your hand, it can't go that far out for a throw-in, right? And all those people being like as if they're fucking scientists, right? I'm like, guys, it's pretty fucking simple. What happened is, look, the problem is that they don't have that many cameras in SPL because we're on a budget for VAR. Yeah. So it's like budget VAR, right? Poundland VAR, right? And the problem is there's a still that they showed the referee. It looks like it hits part of his hand. The thing is, though, because his hand's here, if his hand's not there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually, there's no, and the thing is, people are saying it can't have because the ball went so far. No, he's headed it. See, if you head a ball when your hand's there, the ball still goes. It doesn't stop it because the power comes from here, right? If it just hits your hand, it will fall down, right? Yeah. But the point is, his hand is on his head like this, and he heads the ball. Now, some people say it came off his head here. Some people say it touched his fingertips. So anyway, everyone's up in it. It's the usual bullshit up here. Conspiracy. They're all the referees are Celtic fans. Then the Celtic, they're all Rangers. All this nonsense. But what it has created is a lot of debate, a lot of nonsense as well. But then Kelechi Iheanacho scores the penalty. Massive pressure, by the way. And then they win 3-2. So now it means if Celtic win by any means tomorrow, they win the title. If it's a draw or Hearts win the title, and it'll be the first time in 40 years that one of the old firm hasn't won the SPL.
That's crazy.
Title. And my team, Partick Thistle, who are in the Partick Thistle in the Championship, we're in a playoff semi-final, second leg, Dunfermline at Firhill tonight. Win that, we go to the final against St Mirren, who are my father-in-law's team. So that'll be a spicy one. So yes, lots of drama here up in Scotland, nice. But just a lot of nonsense. But it's really simple. His hand got knocked up. It's hard to say whether it definitely hit part of his hand or not. The referee got shown a still where it looked like it did. He's given the penalty. I think it was the wrong decision, but it wasn't one of those ones where you're like the Luis Diaz offside one. You're going, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. It was just one of those ones you're like, guys, maybe they only took 20 seconds to look at it. Maybe look at it a bit longer or maybe get better camera angles versus at Arsenal West Ham. Let's take 5-6 minutes. I don't know what you're doing, guys, here. Like you're only looking at one thing anyway. You only care about one thing. Why'd you take 6 minutes? What the fuck's wrong with you? So
for sure.
Yeah, bananas. But again, I have to say though, boys, you have to admit, who would want to be that referee in either of those games at that moment? Like so because the one at Celtic, Motherwell, right? You know it's title defining potentially, and obviously the Arsenal West Ham is both ends, right? It's like top and bottom. Imagine being that referee in that stadium. Like I cannot imagine the pressure. Like. Honestly, like that is,
which I'm sure is why it took 7 minutes or whatever it took for them to do that, because they understood that. And I will say that VAR.
Did you hear the audio? Did you hear the audio?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God! Yeah, this is what drives me. You know me. I'll go off on one. Drives me fucking insane.
So I will say that the fact that a both title and relegation deciding call had to come through VAR is shit. Like it is ruining the game.
It is. It's and that's the thing. Look, Mike, here's the thing. Like the VAR audio you listen to, the guys that I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I'm not sure what you should. My issue with it all is that everything they get shown has bias already in it.
Sure.
Because I've made a decision, I want to show you something. So you know my bias is there's a foul.
Right.
And what this person did is he was obsessing around the contact on Raya instead of looking and going, right, if I'm going to forensic, knowing what's on the line, right? This is in the NFL. Like this does not happen in American football. And you see if they look at things and go, see if it took them that long, they just go on-field decision. Right. Just get on with it, right? Because do you know what it is? You can all live with a decision where you go, see the referee there. You wouldn't be massively critical if the how's he meant to see with everything going on? How can he see everything, right? That's easier to swallow than having 6 minutes and coming up with these like, I'm like, guys, like you say, it's not good for the game. Like it's not good.
It's not. It is a shit.
It is.
experience for if you're a fan in the stadium and you're just sitting there for 6 minutes in dead silence while you're just looking at a screen say under the review, it's just like, so I will say that, for both sides, top and bottom, it is a shame for the game.
Yes,
that
and you look at both
this.
games, Mike. You had a game with Arsenal where you go, the referee's given the goal, the VAR do that, takes seconds, they disallow it, right? And then in Celtic games, the referee didn't give a penalty. Like, he didn't give it, and it's like you go, like, I just think you could see if I look at that Celtic and see this and go, oh, that might have been a hand, but you can live with that and go, well, how is he meant to see that, right?
Yeah.
The same with the Arsenal, go, look, yeah, there's a pull in it, but there's so many bodies, everyone's pulling everyone. You can probably live with it and go, I feel like we maybe could have had a call, but it's not so egregious that you're like, the Luis Diaz, the guy's 2 yards onside. Like, how did you get that wrong? Like, that to me is what it should be. See this whole forensically, like, if you're going to do that, you have to look at everything else going on. You've got to be objective and go, right, wait a minute, what was the lead up to the foul? Oh, wait a minute, that guy's been bear hugged. We either don't give anything or we give a penalty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, that's if you take a sensible look at that. But yeah, look, it creates drama. I think they need to make some big changes. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be rule changes for set pieces and a bunch of stuff. There has to be. Has
to be, definitely. So, Wazza, listen, let's focus. We have in the midst of all this, it feels like we have a cup final tomorrow, I think it is. Involving your team, I know. But so, I mean, look, people talking about Pep. This is rumored to be his last season. He's got a year left.
Taking pictures of his trophies around the grounds and whatnot. Yeah.
That's it. So we'll see. We don't know. Look, I mean, it was Chelsea or Leeds. In a way, is this I feel like Chelsea, the matchup, and it's like, sometimes styles make fights. I feel like they have been a bit trickier for City than maybe they should have been this year. Liverpool the same. But would you think that in a way I feel like Leeds are actually in good form? So I'm almost like, how are you feeling going into this game? Is it like super confident because you're obviously probably in as good form as you've been in most of the season? Or is there a bit of a nervousness because it is Chelsea and you think that there could be a banana skin here?
No, I think that we're feeling pretty good.
You're feeling good,
especially after the weekend. After the match against Crystal Palace,
resting the guys.
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason for us to not feel good right now, and also the fact that some of the players have been rested. I think because this is the most important week of the season, like where we have to win this one to win a trophy, we have to win the next one to stay in the race until the final day and keep the pressure on Arsenal, and then the final game of the season, obviously, right? Like, I think that fundamentally, this is like where you see the quality of the players, the spine of the team, like in Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Haaland.
Is Rodri back? Do we know?
Yeah, he should be back.
Ish.
He should be back.
Ish, right? Yeah.
Ish.
I don't know how. Yeah, it's interesting.
I think we're just going to pump him full of ibuprofen and hope that he doesn't break.
I think at this point, just do it. Yeah.
He's just going to put it out.
I can't watch Nico Gonzalez anymore. He's so shit.
He's so bad. But Guardiola's back, which is good. Nori played a really good game, but fundamentally, I think that
Guardiola's big. That's I forgot you had. He's a good player, by the way.
He's been so good for us, and we've had him out
dynamic. He's dynamic. He can play fullback. He's very dynamic.
Centre back. But yeah, like I think fundamentally, like I think that you know me, I'm usually quite tentative about games, especially like cup finals and stuff. Tomorrow, I feel pretty confident. Like, don't get me wrong, Chelsea are very frisky at the moment. They're very unpredictable. Like we saw in that game against Liverpool. I think that was more of a reflection of how bad Liverpool are rather than how good Chelsea are. Right?
Don't even count that. Don't even count that. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I'm not counting it because that's more of a reflection of how shite.
Oh my God!
Like, I don't think that Chelsea are that good. Yeah. Like, I think that we do have the ability. And watch now, Karma is going to come and bite me in the arse, and it's going to be a Chelsea 1-0 win. But fundamentally, I do think that we will be fine.
I think you'll win.
And also we can rotate a bit. Like if we can get 2 goals within the first 60, 70 minutes,
you'll beat them. Sub
them off, rotate, and just kill the match. Done.
I think you'll be. They've got some individually good players.
And Enzo Fernandez doing bits is going to be a problem. Pedro's in some good form.
Cole Palmer's dangerous. They've got Reece James. They've got some dangerous players, but
Cole Palmer's a bit hit and miss right now.
He is, but what I mean is he's got a moment. He's got a moment in him.
He can pull it out of the bag, and it's a cup final. Anyone can win a cup final. Anyone can. We know that. But
I think, Mike, you feel the same. City comfortable.
I think it's If it's not 3-0, it's 3-1.
Okay, I think a couple of goals. I think they win it by a couple.
I can see us. I strangely enough can see us conceding first, but I don't think that they will be able to keep us out. That's the bigger thing. Like as bad as our defense has been this year, Chelsea's has been worse.
Yeah. Although I would say James is back, and so is Colwell.
James will be back for 5 minutes and then pull his hamstring. And then
I feel so bad for him because when he's healthy for those 4 minutes every season, he's so great. But he's just so good. I mean, talk about made of glass. It's a shame.
He's the Abu Dhabi of defenders.
He's a Daniel Sturridge of defenders, mate. He's just never fit, man. It's although I take Sturridge back now.
But I think the bigger conversation that I'm really thinking about now, because the thing is, we're going to get swept up into World Cup bonanza soon. Like, let's just assume that City do win it this week, and that's fine. I'm more focused on especially after that horrible performance last weekend. Liverpool fans, slot in or out, what's happening? I feel like there are enough managers currently dotted around that are actually viable.
Was it? The problem is
he's there, right? Like, wasn't there a press conference or something? Like he's confirmed the intent to stay, and
no, he says as far as he right.
As far as he knows.
Yeah, the issue is that Liverpool fans, generally speaking, so I speak to or see on are generally more out than in. So he's definitely lost the fan, but I think there seems a disconnect with the players. I think, as I said, I don't like. We're not fun to watch. Even if we're winning, I'd be saying the same thing. I wouldn't be trying to, dress up a turret. I'd be like, look, we're not good to watch. We're too passive and slow and methodical and trying to be overly controlled, and it doesn't work. But I think we're in this the club, and I understand it. It's because part of me, as much as I would prefer a change personally to see something more compelling with the players we've got. I think we can get more out of these players, but I think that you get into that merry-go-round. Look at Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea. You look at those clubs. Again, it's back to that thing where my fundamental belief is: look, you thought you're confident he's the guy. He won the title in his first season, and people can talk about Klopp's team. I take that point. Okay, this season hasn't been good. There has been challenges with Salah. It's okay. There's a learning curve. I just think it's too reactive. I think if you start reacting like that now, again, if Luis Enrique became available, I think you can make. It was like with Gary O'Neill at Bournemouth, right? He did a decent job, and then Iraola became available, and they were just like, "We think this guy's too good." Yeah. So I'm okay with that. If the thing is with Xabi Alonso, right? Let's talk about the realistic people we're talking about here. I know he's talking to Chelsea apparently. Again, he did a great job at Leverkusen. He went to Madrid and just completely failed. And so that there is an element of he's not because he's available, we have to make the change. I don't know that he's his stuff. And look, he's done it once at Leverkusen, right? So this is Iraola. I love the way that he plays football, right? So I'm selfishly, yes, because I know what I'll see will be more appealing to me. But once again, it's a massive gamble, right? Because he's completely unproven at the level that Liverpool are at with the egos and all those things, right? And you're looking then at Glasner. Doesn't float my boat, to be honest. It's not my cup of tea. I said the guy, honestly, I was joking with my mate. The guy at Motherwell, if you want good football, I swear to God, that guy, to me, is honestly, boys, watch Motherwell. I swear, I cannot describe how good they are. And I'm talking playing out from the back. The football is phenomenal. And this guy has made existing players look like world beaters, that were crap last year. So my point is, I'm looking and going, no, if Luis Enrique said, I want to come to the Premier League and I want to manage Liverpool, I think it's an easy decision and everyone gets behind it. I just think, I just don't want to get into that. I think give him a year, and if he doesn't, if it's the same next year, it's clear the decision is clear then, right? So as much as I'm going to be painful for me to watch, I think let's see what happens. Maybe he turns it around. I don't know.
So in the entire history of the Premier League,
yes,
no team that has sacked a manager midway through the season has ever won a league title. So this is what the board has to decide within probably the next few weeks, which is, do we stick or twist? Because if we stick,
it's not about winning, it's not about whizzing. It's not. Listen, it's not. I think you want to be up there with a chance to win. It's not about winning, right? It's about being. I think for us now, looking at with Salah going, Robbo going, this is. It's not a full on rebuild, but there's an evolution in the team that's happening now, and you need what you're looking at now is, does Wirtz take a step forward next year? Does Isak actually not get
actually
injured.
play.
Even I said this, Ekitike, I think, has been patchy. Like, does he kick on, right?
Yeah.
Does Kirkes settle down a little bit, right? So you're looking, you've got the new centre halves coming in as well. So you're kind of like going like, there's a lot of things there that you go. And the thing is, the answer to all it would take is see if Wirtz kicks on and like Isak's fit. Like all of a sudden, the world could look very different for Liverpool, right? So it's not like it's. And look, here's the thing: we've been so bad to watch. We've been historically terrible. We're still going to finish in the Champions League spot, right? So it's like, it says a lot about the league. So it's not that things are completely rotten to the core, like with Man United, and you're ripping everything up. You've still got Verge, right? You've still got Szoboszlai. You've still got guys there you can hang your hat on, right? But I think I'm as much as I would rather have somebody who plays better football, I just think it's probably the right decision net. If I'm the owner, stick with him. He won a League One season. People forget that, right? So you can't just be overly critical, too low with the lows here. I think that's the problem.
The thing is, I don't forget that he's won a league, but I think that your best player this season has been Szoboszlai very largely, right? But the thing is, you keep saying this all the time, Ross. The sign of a good manager is someone that has improved their players. How many players realistically, even over the course of this year and even last year, like Verge, let's be perfectly honest, he's well past his prime. I don't think he even has a full season in him next year, right?
Oh, he does. He's fine. Verge is good.
Slow down. Anyway, that one aside.
The problem is,
you really think there's
absolute donkey with fullbacks and your midfield's not functional.
Right.
This is not. But
this is the thing. Slot has had an entire year to try to raise some of those new players up. Has he even moved the needle on them?
I will 100%. Can I think of a player that he's improved that's improved under him outside of Dominic Szoboszlai? Salah last year, yes, and Salah praised him for it and said about gave him more freedom. So, but obviously there's a fallout there. I have to give him. I have to give him credit though, because Salah did say that he's given him that's why he's scoring, because he had less defensive responsibility. Slot gave so Slot.
But that's not him improving Salah's
play. But I think the other thing as well was I think the problem here is again, there's context to everything. You're right, I say that, but if you come into a club where Jurgen Klopp manages and he is getting the that's an elite manager, all-time elite manager, like Sir Alex Ferguson, right? Like Pep. And they get the extra 10, 20% out of these players, right? That's what they do. The problem is he's already doing that, right? And so and it wasn't like we had all these young players and I think that's really hard and probably harsh and unfair. I think now with the new players, this is what I mean. I think you've got to give him next season to say, can he take Florian Wirtz from being this great talent in Germany to being one of the best players in the Premier League? Because we know he can do it. He's got the ability. He's got everything there.
I don't think he can.
And that I think that's the thing. What I think the problem this year with I think the Salah thing is huge. That's been I do think he'll have learned a lot this year about managing huge egos, right? Because he came into where there was a lot of harmony, and then all of a sudden there's not. So you learn a lot from that. And also now it's he is going to have to. Ekitike is going to have to develop. He's going to have to get better under Slot. So I do think Yeah.
My prediction is that if Liverpool do stick with him, they're going to sack him before Christmas.
I don't disagree. Look,
I definitely think that there's an absolute risk for that.
Because the thing is, I just don't see him pulling the key players up, as in coaching them to be improving substantially enough. I just don't see it. I didn't see it all year.
There's nothing I've seen. There's nothing I've seen that gives me I'm going to back him and say he's the guy. Now, the only thing I would say is he's definitely, like you say, that the way that he comes across, I do think he's got a good tactical brain. I think my hope is he's learned. I think the big thing is if he's either going to be one of these fixed-minded coaches and he's going to fail and he'll be out by Christmas. I promise you that's what will happen, because the football, it's not just the results, it's the football that's got to improve, right? So if he will either learn and adapt, and he's shown to me more characteristics that he may be willing to do that than somebody like Ange Postecoglou, who's just it's my way, the fucking highway, right? But if he is fixed-minded and stubborn, like some people say he might be because he's Dutch, then he will be sacked by Christmas, 100%. And I will back the sacking, because if it's the same thing with just some better players and more fit players, it won't be good enough. It still won't be nearly good enough. So I do agree, Waz. If you're to ask me now, what do I think will happen? I think he will be sacked. Will he be our manager by January next? No, I don't think he will
Probably
be.
Not. Yeah.
But I'm also happy to be proved wrong. And I would love to be wrong, because it would be better for the club. So
the thing is, based on what you said, so this is the thing. I fully hear your point that next year, given that there is some transition happening with new players coming in, bedding in, I fully get that. City have it like where so many players come in one season, takes them a season to get used to the league, get used to the system, and then they do better in the next season. Very normal. But the thing is Slot the person you want to try to get them to be competitive? I don't see it.
He's earned the right because of winning a title. And
I don't believe in this earning the right stuff. I'm sorry, because the thing is, fundamentally, they're going to go through another effectively a fallow year. Like,
they don't know that. It's like, is Michael Carrick earned the right to manage Manchester United next season
by bringing them up from effectively a relegation place to Champions League?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
he's absolutely earned the right.
Yeah, he's earned the right. He has earned the right. No, but the thing is, it's about the current season. It's about what he's done this season.
I think the thing about the title, though, Ross,
there's no bank. There is no bank.
You mentioned it, right? Like, he won a title, but it wasn't his team.
No, I get that, but again, okay, we can all go down that road and go, okay, so when Alex Ferguson left, why didn't David Moyes win the title? Show me another manager where that's happened. It doesn't happen. Like, it's so rare. Now, look. Do we know why? Now, Slot got a lot of credit for that, not just from the pundits, from the players, right? In terms of, and again, he came in. So what he's shown is he's been able to really tactfully manage that transition, which is historically almost impossible to do that, right? So it's with an elite all-time coach figure like Klopp. Go and find me somebody else. Arsenal.
Two very different situations. Because the Man United team that David Moyes inherited was absolute shite.
Yeah,
the team that Slot inherited was gold.
But listen, boys. Look, they won league titles, right? Okay, so my point is,
they won a league title and just barely as well.
No, but listen, you're not listening. The point is this, right? Elite managers, right? We've said this, get extra out of these players, right? So the point is to be able to manage that transition shows some level of skill, because again, if it didn't and anyone could do it, this would happen more often, right? It doesn't happen, right? Now, did Klopp leave the club in a particularly good position? Yes, but a lot of my mates were telling me, I look at the text, when Klopp left and Slot came in, you guys are fucked because all these guys they're not as good as you think they are. Your squad's shit and you're going to fall off a cliff, right? And that didn't happen. So at least he was able to maintain things. Now, it's only lasted a year. He's then had a bunch of challenges that he's probably never dealt with in his career, and he's not dealt with them particularly well, in my opinion, this season. But this is the first real adversity I've seen him come up against, right? So the point is, he's shown enough. He's earned the right because he delivered elite. That is, like, again, Mike, you should know better than anyone how hard. Ask Mikel Arteta how fucking hard it is to win this league, right? So to just kind of go, it's the ghost of Klopp. I'm sorry. No, if that was the case, it'd be the ghost of all these great managers, and Arsenal wouldn't fall off a cliff when Wenger leaves. And when Guardiola leaves, let's see what happens with Man City, by the way, right? Let's see.
But Wenger's is similar to the Sir Alex thing. Like, the team was not, they were treating fourth place like a trophy.
Yeah, but you look at Chelsea, how many times have great managers won the league, left Chelsea, the team's been great, another manager comes in, they're crap. My point is, it's not easy when an elite all-time manager leaves a club, because the gulf that they leave is Arne Slot.
For sure, but there's also the health of the club and the timing. Like, and for both Sir Alex and for Arsene Wenger, they overstayed and resulted in a. So when they exited, the team was not on the ascendancy.
But here's the thing. The thing is, I would argue Liverpool were not on the ascendancy under Klopp either, because all of our best players are old. Like, and everyone, you're telling me Virgil's done. This is what I mean. People talk about this and they go, on one hand, they're saying this, and then like your players are old and not as good. Like, see if he'd inherited the team with Firmino, Mane not flying, I'd be like, yeah, you're right, guys. That's not what he inherited.
No, right? He just inherited a set of schmucks that were Luis Diaz, who went to Bayern Munich for a record fee, and then Salah, who had the best season of his entire Liverpool career.
Also, I can argue Diaz maybe had his best season under Slot, right? So my point is, like, you've got to be balanced here, right? You've got to be objective and balanced and say, look, I would rather. I just don't think that you can compare the Liverpool season the Liverpool team that Slot got to the United team that David Moyes reinforced. And do you know who he got? Marouane fucking Fellaini. I'm sorry, but that's all he had available to him to buy.
And look at him now. Look at how well he's doing now.
But the thing is, you're talking about Arne Slot signed nobody, just stuck with what he had, didn't get any new players in, right? So no reinforcements, no depth, right? In a season, by the way, where this Arsenal team are going to win it because they're so fucking great. Well, what happened there, right? Don't think so. So the point is, like, you can't, people just over rotate. You've got to be like, look, you cannot discount what he did that season, and look, that not many managers in the world ever get to do that, right? And to say it was all Jurgen Klopp and any chump could have come in, he's shown some level of some skill. The problem is that skill might not be the skill that, to your point, Mike, that goes, you're going to build the team yourself. That's a different skill, right? That's what I'm worried about, right?
Because the pieces that he's brought in,
and
injury aside,
and Jamie Carragher made this point. He said he's brought in more technical players.
Yeah.
Klopp brought in people that had that work with
heavy metal. Yeah.
So the point is, this is very much, and this is my point, was I think you've got to give him next year a go, because next year you can go, Arne, this is going to be your team. There'll be no excuses, right?
That's right.
And I don't believe in excuses. This year you can go, look, the way that Isak signed, there's a lot of things that, again, he'll have learned from that were out of his control that didn't set him up for success. That even though we started the season really well in terms of results, I know it was sketchy in terms of last minute goals. But yeah, and then the Salah follow and all these things. So he either kicks on and learns, and if he improves as a manager, I think he will be Liverpool manager next year. If he sticks and thinks this is the only way I do things, he is done. So that's it. But yes, let's talk fantasy quickly. If that okay? Are you going to go, Wazza? You go. A good time to go because you're shit at fantasy. That's great. Yeah. So,
yeah, boys.
I'm making a hot take, mate. I'm just going to, because look, there's 2 weeks to go. A lot of people might not be interested because you've got Hee-Haw to play for. I'm still trying to make sure that I think this week will determine just if I stay top in the leagues I'm top in, and no, Mike, you're always top of many leagues. Here's my hot take. I've done it already because I didn't want to be talked out of it. And you know me, Mike. You're a data guy.
You remember to captain the right player?
I did this time, yeah. But you know what I mean? I'm an instinct guy. I'm vibes. You're very much data and common sense and maybe a bit of intelligence. I have got rid of Erling Haaland and put Victor Gyökeres in.
That is a hot take. So are you tripled up
on Arsenal? Yes. Okay. So I've got Raya and I've got Gabriel.
Yeah.
And because it's Burnley at home, this is where I believe.
Yeah.
Is it this? He feeds. He's going to feed, right? But I think he's going to play because I think he should play ahead of Havertz, right? Because
I think that Havertz is going to be preferred for the Champions League game. So yeah, I would think so.
And I just feel like Haaland. I know Haaland's going to start in the cup final. I think there could, because they play Bournemouth quite shortly after. I think there could be. I'm worried again about Pep rotation.
If he had played even a nanosecond in the game earlier in the week, I'd be worried. I think he's going to play all 90 of the next 3.
Maybe, but I think Bournemouth way, I don't see that being a big hat. I think goals for City have been coming from other places.
Yeah, Bournemouth's playing great. That is not an easy match.
So tell me what you think. Give me your honest feedback. And look, the thing is, I probably shouldn't be taking these chances because I'm probably, but I like the spice.
Well,
I like the risk.
If you're chasing, I think if you're chasing, I think it's an interesting move.
I'm not chasing. I just want to.
Well, you're chasing me, motherfucker.
No, you're too far ahead though. My point, if I had like a triple chip or something, I might. I'm not going to win those leagues.
I would like to have 2 pieces of the Arsenal attack this week, but it's 2 transfers. So I've got Saliba and Gabriel, and I've got Saka. I think Saka's minutes are a little bit safer for the full 90 than Gyökeres, just given where they are. But I think Gyökeres is on penalties, even though it's home. And so I do think that if one of the 2 of them, either Saka or Gyökeres, was going to explode for a match week against Burnley, it's probably Victor. So I don't think it's a bad take. I don't think it's a bad take.
Would you, if you're top of the league in certain leagues like I am, and I could finish second if I fuck this up, would you be taking the risk?
Yeah, it's a game, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's not as outlandish as like selling him for, I don't know, Welbeck. So it's like, these are the games that all season is where he's been racking up his goals, right? So it's the last game at home and all of these things. Yeah. No, I think it's an interesting take. I mean, I still have Haaland, but I don't know if I'll have him. What happens this week will likely determine how many City players I have for game week 38 or not. Yeah. So just because
that was the other thing. I think the league could be. I don't know. They'll win it.
If the league is done this week, then yeah, I think then
Empty.
there's going to be a lot of rotation for both City and Arsenal.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
because Arsenal's now going to be focused myopically on PSG, and so, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't hate that take. I think that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I've got 2 frees and 3 million, and the team's good enough to roll so that I could make 3 changes on the final week and maybe wait for some team leaks and take a punt or 2. But yeah, I mean, this is the time in the season, like, team value doesn't matter. This is like, pick a horse and bet on it, and have fun in those last couple of weeks. But if you're chasing, you got to go differential. You can't match what the other players have got. So
100%. Yeah, and the Liverpool Villa game tonight, Liverpool need to get some good, and that could be one you could pick up somebody, I think. And normally I wouldn't be saying that, but I mean, Liverpool with Ekitike out, though, Isak's injured again. So
the only thing is that Villa is so focused on Europe.
So that's, I mean, Liverpool, I think, could be, in terms of an attacking option for Liverpool.
Szoboszlai is the only guy I like on Liverpool.
I agree. The only one I would say is that Rio and Gamoa, massive flyer, but Gakpo does show up with goals. Like he does, even though I don't like him. He's Salah's going to get only 5 or 10 minutes, or say he's not ready.
Right.
So Gakpo's guaranteed to play a big role. He'll play through the middle, I think, and he'll play Rio on the left, and then I don't think he'll play in the right. We'll see. But I would say that's one, if you're chasing and you need a flat, I think, because Liverpool will want to go and win that and just get it done. Villa will be the opposite. It'd be like, I don't know how.
Don't get hurt. We've got a big European final. I
think that's another sneaky one, just looking at the fixtures and stuff. And then obviously, look, again, you look at the teams down the bottom. I mean, Jared Bowen's an obvious one, but I
like him for game week 38, especially if they're still fighting for it, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, mate, always a pleasure, never a chore.
Indeed.
But yes, I hope you have a good weekend. You get to enjoy it for the weekend until Monday, and then you'll be nervous a little bit, I'm sure, but I'm sure you guys will get it over the line now.
Yeah, sure hope so.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.
Take care.